Our next scene is from the Fantastic Four, and the Fantastic Four is always kind of known as being like this sort of family book, because it's about a man and his wife and then their brother-in-law and their good friend, but the scene that we've got is just about two people. It's about Reed Richards, who is the leader of the Fantastic Four, who throughout the comics isn't always known as the most, isn't known as the most approachable kind of guy, not always the most in touch with just regular old human emotions and stuff. But in the scene that we've got for you, well, he's got to try and stop somebody from killing themselves. He's got to try and step out onto the ledge of a building with a guy and convince that guy to come back in. So that is the scene we've got. We've got Jason playing the role of Reed Richards, stretching out on stage, and Terry playing the role of timid Terry, playing the role of Martin, the guy who's a little tired of things.
You probably don't recognize me because I'm not in costume, but I'm Mr. My name's Reed. Hi.
Martin. Hello.
Is it all right that I stand next to you? We don't have to talk, but can I at least...
No, we can talk. Talking's all right.
So?
Lately, I've been feeling depressed.
And Martin tells me about a 16-year-old son, Jeremy, who was driving home from a party with a group of friends when their car hit a patch of ice and spun out of control and wrecked.
Jeremy and the other kids were killed.
He goes on to explain that Jeremy's death put an enormous strain on his marriage. And barely 6 months after their only son's funeral, he and his wife Lucy divorced. She moved to California, he thinks. He hasn't heard from her, but he hopes that she's found some kind of peace. My immediate impulse is to hug Martin, the stranger, but I check myself and I listen as he tells me that a few weeks ago he started coughing up blood. And when he went to the doctor, Martin found that he had throat cancer, already in an advanced stage. Inoperable, untreatable, and terminal.
So I guess you could say I'm scared.
Of dying? I understand.
No, not of everyone dies. It's not death, I'm afraid. It's in the doctor's office. When I first got the news, I didn't cry. But later that night, at home, I wanted to call someone to tell them what was happening. And that's when it all came out. Because I didn't have anyone to call. Because there was no one in my life who cares. No way or another. Dying doesn't scare me. But dying alone, in some hospital room, with no one holding my hand, that terrifies me.
I think of Martin's son. And I think of Franklin. I think of Martin's wife. And I think of Susan. I think of Martin's last moments on this earth. And I remember my grandfather telling me how during World War I he would see his friends shot down. They'd be lying in blood-soaked fields of mud, but he wouldn't be able to go to them or hold them while they died. You won't die alone, Martin.
No, you don't understand. There's no one.
I'm going to give you this piece of paper with a phone number on it. And when you get close, call it. I'll answer it. No matter where I am, I'll come to you.
And you'll hold my hand? And your face will be the last thing I see?
Yes.
You promise me?
Absolutely.
But what if I call and you're fighting Dr. Doom? Or the Frightful Four? What happens then?
It doesn't matter. I'll be there by your side.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Martin. One thing, though.
I know. And I'll go in with you. I will. But can we wait a couple more minutes? I'm just starting not to feel scared.
Of course we can.